Good evening, everyone. System Chalk here with the 74th episode of Cultist Simulator, the Dancer DLC. So we've got a Season of Suspicion coming by. I'd forgotten that there was a Mystique on the board, but we should be able to run by. I think this is just from me turning in some commissions. We should be able to get by without too much trouble there. We are currently working on our Port Noon expedition. Now we have everything that we need. We've got the Forge for the door and we've got the Heart for the Curse. So this is just a matter of letting it play out, and then I'm going to be reading some books. The last few, we don't currently have any negative influences, but I may want to be on the lookout for that. We have a Season of Ambitions coming up. Now, we probably won't have finished the dance in time for the Season of Ambitions, but we will likely be dancing at the Gaiety to be able to incorporate that. So we're definitely in a good spot for the playthrough right now, and really this is just going to be a matter of sort of cleaning out the last few texts to sort of get me to the higher level. The other thing I'm probably going to want to think about for I don't 100% remember how the Ascension in this works, but definitely I think I'm going to want to be getting some heart influence. So one straightforward way of getting that would be to go through the white door. But another option that I have is to try and get something through the spider's door. That's a little bit more complicated because I need to potentially betray and imprison followers, and there's no guarantee that I'm going to get that particular influence at the time that I need it. But those are some options that are available to me depending on what I need. We also have got some pretty strong artifacts for heart. So the Kingskin Buran is probably the one I would go for, but I also have the Sister and Witch painting. So we're generally doing okay for our heart numbers. So let's jump into it. Actually, you know what? We can probably go through the white door for starters. Now I can approach the white door through the bounds. Now I can press my fingers to it, feel its chill, watch it swing open. As it opens, my mouth closes, tightens, heals over like a lost deformity. Around and about me is the cobalt light of the Mansis. So I wasn't sure if we had any text to read here, and I can catch up on the time of division, in which Amira Zahara prophesizes the events later known as the Intercalate, when the hour called the Sun in Splendor can be divided. The sun will be divided that it might not sire children. Still its children shall be 4 in number, and its children shall be 7 in number, and its children shall also be numberless. The numberless shall open the way for the 7, and the 7 shall consume the 4. Will almost certainly shatter this warded door. I finished the manuscript, so that's one for Dr. Adim. We're not going to send that in right away because we want to preserve our reputation while the where your detective's looking into us. I remember why I had Dream open now. It's because of the potential negative influences from the time of division. Anyways, we have to have the right intercalate from this. Amira prophesizes the 4 great wars before the second dawn. Prophesizes 4 great wars before the second dawn, when the sun in splendor shall rise again. She cautions, sunrise is blood, and I foretell now that the sun shall rise from blood, yet not the color of the blood, nor the hour of night. She includes a rite that she speculates will be necessary for the second dawn. So, probably not surprising we'd get dread from a book like that. Fortunately, we can also cancel that with fascination. Yeah, there's the rite that we were expecting. And finally, the Illuminate Mysteries. The Meniscate, the Madrigard, the Flower Maker, and the Forge of Days are the gods from light. There is a 5th, but now we know it is not the Watchman. Yet the Watchman shares a secret doctrine with those 5, and here is that doctrine. Okay, so these are kind of a wash. We also have a fleeting reminiscence if I want to somehow, for whatever reason, want to get rid of the fascination but leave the dread on the table. a lot of that's going to depend on what we get from this work. So my deeds, my powers, my achievements. My deeds, my powers, my achievements, and the injustices perpetrated against me. Huckabald of Possend, formerly of the Order of Immortals, called by some the House of Leith, settles scores. Huckabald boasts of his royal descent and insists that the magics of the Forge are more effective when practiced by those of noble blood. This has been a bit of a weird playthrough in that I haven't wound up with the pigments for Knock or Edge, and then we do still have some gaps in terms of my understanding, so I might try and subvert some lore to try and fill these in, but these are definitely sort of extracurricular sort of ambitions. All doors must open, as all lives must end. This door has found its end here today. Last night, I walked in the Orchard of Lights. I plucked the fruit, which is always ripe, and consumed it in 2 bites. The taste is not to be forgotten. As I licked the glowing juices from my fingers, I saw a message carved in the bark of the tree. When I woke, I recorded that message, all I could remember in my diary. So, Forgotten Chronicles aren't too helpful for me, but I'm not going to complain about them either, so carry on there. I think probably it's better for me to just clear out the fascination and dread. We'll deal with whatever. Essentially, anything that we get from this text is something that we could have we can deal with the same way we would deal with whatever's remaining from this combination. Also, well, okay, sorry, that's not entirely true. There may be some funny business I need to deal with in 29 seconds, but yeah, for the most part, it's a bit of a wash. And so I might as well just keep things simple on the board and move on. Let's talk with Jannings about getting a commission while we can. And the light in the dark. Moth finds light in the dark, and so do I. So didn't have an opportunity to show our stuff. I think what I'll do then is just do another standard performance. The stage awaits hot and clean and bare and bright. If I move the moves and step the steps and do what is required, they'll pay me. Here is what he needs. Alright, well, we can definitely turn in the Edge Commission. I've been waiting for an opportunity to do that. But we're going to leave the talk verb open for now, depending on what happens with the Hunter. We shouldn't worry about generating Mystique, but I am going to generate a notoriety soon. I'm known further along my path of change. In the movements of the secret forms, I must find my lesson. Okay, so no side effects. Possend complains of his condemnation by the Order Lamea. He acknowledges that he has undergone alterations after the consummation of that particular delight, but insists that these changes are both elegant and inevitable. Who is the fire and who is the fuel, he asks rhetorically. So this is the furnace pain. This is the hymn the heat sings to the iron. If we imitate it faithfully enough, we will parch our lips and crisp our tongue, but oh, the rewards. Use this in a rite with a consecrated lintel and a little refulgun, or other resources of equal power to summon King Crucible. So we actually just filled out our gaps here. I mean, I'll get a Port Noon anecdote, but that's not too difficult. 58 seconds, yeah, so we'll definitely need to turn in some commissions. This is reckless, but I'm just going to I'll just turn in the commissions. But I don't think I'm going to get any glimmering from these, so we'll study the passion. Read sentimental literature. If I propose to learn anything, I wouldn't be reading this stuff. We will have a chat with Dr. Adi. Well, we'll actually save that for later. Let's talk with Madame Bichet. Or no, sorry, that's Count Jannings. Oh. Substantial. Oh, he wants a very substantial investigation. Never mind then. Okay, well, I kind of blew this, but that's fine. I'll just wait before talking with Dr. Adim to get my erudition. Okay, moving on. We've got a season of sickness, so that's going to require a vitality. That gives me a reason to actually use my heart follower. Sorry, there's one thing I should have mentioned before. I actually have a timer going on, and I should probably I probably should get going on that, so I may need to walk away for just a minute or two. I'm sorry to do this, but I'm recording this in a half-hour interval before I do a 3-hour stream, having just done a 2-hour stream. So I'm really kind of I'm really running things pretty close here. But I'm safe for now. My adversary has not enough evidence to bring a case against me, and they found no new clues. Okay, so one thing I want to think about, I'm clearly not thinking clearly about a few things right now. So I'm leaving the talk verb open. Okay, yeah, I'm leaving the talk verb open because I want the option of getting rid of the restlessness. Now, it was foolish of me to study the passion because we had the light, the dark, so I was going to get a glimmering anyway. Now I'm going to get a second one unnecessarily. In 39 seconds, I'll free up the study verb for moving on the Vagabond's map, and I can turn in the secret histories to Dr. Redeem to be able to get the erudition that I need. So we're in okay shape. And actually, tell you what, I'm sorry to do this. I will make this as quick as I can, but I'm going to run away for a couple of seconds for the... I know, like, one day I will be set up to do editing and stuff like this, but I need to run for a minute. I don't want to burn my apartment down, so I will try and keep this less than a minute. We'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I apologize for that, and I'll just warn you that my next section on my timer is 9 minutes, so there's going to be one more break like that, but it will hopefully be even shorter. All right, call upon the ring you who is renewed. We are strong enough in heart to be almost entirely secure against this curse. So, as I was saying, we'll leave the talk verb open for now because I don't need it, but we'll see what happens at the Gaiety before I commit anything. And sorry, I was talking about the unusual nature of this playthrough. Normally I'll have paintings for Edge and Knock, but didn't turn out this time. Okay, the air is curdled now. I'm home again in this lump in flesh. Better, perhaps. Now I am going to need the vitality, and I'm going to need the dream slot to cure the illness, but I think there is some sense in going to the white door. If nothing else, it's just another chance to provoke the course of the heart. So we'll visit there again. Now I can approach the white door through the bounds. Now I can press my fingers to it, feel its chill, watch it swing open. As it opens, my mouth closes, tightens, heals over like a lost deformity. Around and about me is the cobalt light of the mantis. So, another missed opportunity at the Gaiety. We have got 23 seconds on the restlessness. Now what I can try and do here is paint the restlessness away. And what I would want in that case would be a bit of reputation to work with. Well, I'll do a passion painting. It's not my favorite thing in the world, but oops. Actually, you know what? Why bother? Right? Let's get we'll get a Grail commission in. Because I have another way of getting rid of the restlessness. It's a really simple one. I just bring someone into the cult. So I am going to want to turn in with Dr. Redeem. Oops. I'm going to want to turn in with Dr. Redeem so I can get the erudition. Let's get that now. I have what the doctor requested. Then we'll use the restlessness in the ceremony. And then I just don't need to worry about it. I can also use the edge in the ceremony, but I don't need to. Well, actually, yeah, why not? Let's leave that open and see what we can do with it. So that actually means I'm going to bring Clovette in to talk about my reputation. Not everyone is sympathetic to our aims, but if we have problems with our reputation, our disciple can probably smooth them over. The curse shrivels. Our power is stronger than the power that was here. The curse won't touch us. So I'm very happy about that. So yeah, there's the dread. But again, I don't need to worry about that too much because for the same reason that I can use that restlessness as an input into the induction ritual, I can also use it as an influence there. I've passed the time, I've been inclined to tears, and afterwards inclined to laughter. Meanwhile, the world continues. So I have all the components that I need to get a Port Noon anecdote, and that will give me all of the lore. History is less certain than we are taught. I can learn from the study of its blurred edges. And now if we can get a vitality, that would be nice, but we do have other ways of dealing with the sickness. We also have another season of ambitions coming up, but we may have done the dance by then, so I could get lucky. Treasures lying before us. Last night, I walked in the Orchard of Lights. I plucked the fruit, which is always ripe, and consumed it in 2 bites. The taste is not to be forgotten. As I licked the glowing juices from my fingers, I saw a message carved in the bark of the tree. When I awoke, I recorded that message, all I could remember in my diary. So I think we're going to do the same trick again. I think it makes enough sense. This is the low-cost way for me to try and get some hard influence, as well as a Course of the Heart. So, okay. Looks like there was a side effect there. Probably a glimmering. Yeah. Is there something to be learnt from the satisfaction of desire? Now, normally I'd want to just plow into the next commission, but I do still want to keep the job at the Gaiety, so we're going to do our performance there. A stage awaits, hot and clean and bare and bright. If I move the moves and step the steps and do it as required, they'll pay me. And as always, I just want to be careful in terms of any seasons of despair coming up. I'm okay leaving the dread on the table because it may expire on its own, but I do want to make sure that I keep the talk verb open if we do have a season of despair coming up. All the way from Gallicaea, this is the secret subcellar of the Hotel of Ciervo. The walls are whitewashed, the floor is freshly scrubbed, shelves bulge with oddities. A caged man with a wild beard appears morosely at you from the corner. Again, he says? Or are you a different lot? No, I don't need rescuing, thank you. It's much worse out there. Alright, so we will solve the knowledge challenge with erudition. Well, I was off on the exotic cravings, and it looks like I may actually get hit with the notoriety. Okay. Sorry, I wanted to read the illness, but I was a little too quick on the draw. So I am gonna get Clovette to work on my reputation. Hopefully we can snatch that up before the worried detective gets it. And yet again, we fail to. We fail to have an opportunity to show our stuff. So let's go back to the Gaiety. This should allow us to deal with the restlessness. But it's not looking good as far as finishing the dance. The sun in splendor, the hour who once ruled the Mansis, was known to walk in the orchard before his terrible division. Sometimes his remnants walk here still. Sometimes I see the chilly radiance of the Meniscae through the trees, or the chillier radiance of the sun in rags. Were they to come upon me, it might be my end, but to see them in the distance is the gift of insight. So I'm still going to hold on to the sickness for now. There's always the chance that we can do better. I will go back to... Oops, I don't want to do the sunset right in the dream. I do, however, want to use the white door. And I think there was the text for my dance here. Grab what you can quickly, the caged man hisses. They'll be back soon. Only please leave the Gladius. I brought that all the way back from Gallicaia back in the day. There, that shelf's good. Hurry, they're coming. You can escape up the delivery stairs. And the Elogist's name. Grab what you can, quick. Oh, that's the same text. Alright, we should see the reading for the dance soon. So yeah, we've got a very narrow window on the notoriety, but we might... Nope, 30 seconds. We're not going to pull it off. Also, in less than a minute, I'm going to have to deal with the oven again. But hopefully I've given some credibility in my ability to deal with that quickly. Bones surrendered. In the Toussaint Road Cemetery, there is a white marble tomb the locals keep clean. Madame Rogier sleeps there every third night so that Miss Nania, the gentlest of the Elogist's names, can walk in her dreams. Many bird form will roost at the head of the tomb until Miss Nania is close enough for her breath to touch me. So Azoth, store this only in containers of a pure element and never permit it to grow warm. Perhaps it isn't the final solvent that the alchemist sought, but it will do for our purposes. Another true blood of Saint Januaris. The Thunderskin protected the one they call Januaris against the perils from every past. To this day, his blood keeps dancing. I will see you all in less than a minute. Sorry. I'm sorry, I feel like a jerk whenever I do stuff like that. However, this is going to give me an opportunity for a very small digression. This is actually, so I believe one of the original plans for Cultist Simulator was not to have a pause button. I could be wrong on this, but I seem to remember that there was some discussion of the matter, and I think one of the deciding factors was that that's a neat idea in principle, but people have kids and life gets in the way and things like that. And obviously it's good for me for streaming because it gives me a chance to talk about the text and sometimes, just have some reflections on what some of this stuff means to me and where I think the game does some interesting things. But in this case, I'm very grateful for a pause button just so I can, not set things on fire. But we are together for the remaining 8 minutes. I will have no more interruptions. Okay, and another Scaptodon Fang. It is rare for the Lionsmith to make Scaptodons now, but they are difficult to kill, and they live a very long time. So thank you, everyone. Now, we do have a little bit of trouble in the sense that I need to figure out what to do with my summons, if anything. So I think I'm going to send the Percussagant out to search the city, because I can imagine the Percussagant being useful in the final ritual. We're still going to wait on the Affliction, but this may mean the Callagine expires. It sort of depends on what happens with our reputation. Which in this case I think is almost certainly going to be picked up by the Weary Detective, but we'll see. Bones surrendered. The Elogist has taught me to remember, and the last part of me to change. I carry that lesson past the Kingskin Gate. So yeah, we just missed the window on the change. A hulking fellow. I get the job done. Well, you know what? I think he'll be useful for the Spider's Door. An opportunity at the Gaiety Theatre. Tonight I sense an opportunity. Tonight I could attract attention if I cease to hold back, if I commit myself more fully. Tonight they'll notice that. We also need a Glimmering, which I should have been paying attention to, so actually this one's expiring sooner. And 4.3, 1.4, so the notoriety goes to the wrong place, sadly. I felt all their eyes upon me. Afterwards I received a gift from an admirer, too gaudy for my tastes, but I can sell it on the second-hand market. I don't really need to be at the Gaiety now, so let's worry about that edge commission. Yeah, just ever so slightly on the wrong side, but we do have a final mission for the Callagine now. Oh, another season of ambitions. I wonder if that's coded into the game to trigger quickly. Okay, that's going to be something I want to get rid of, the intensity of radiance. The invisible arts, Christopher Lopoli is said to have remarked, are as profitable as macrame, as ethical as tobacco smuggling, and in general as beneficial as roulette. Still, there is always the Orchard of Lights, and indeed the orchard, with its glowing fruit and its peaceful mists, is a place to be yearned for. Last night I walked there in the peaceful hours of the deep night. Even after waking, I still carry with me a little of the glory of the old sun. An intensity of radiance, light dews the skin and suffuses the air. So I can use this just to bring someone into the cult, but now we've got 94 seconds left on that, so I'm still going to take another shot on the white door, but I do need to keep in mind that I've committed myself to a couple of other actions related to dreams, so I may have a bit of a traffic jam. It's also important to remember we may get lucky and the evidence may not be formed. Optimism is the spice which saves. Okay, so I think we can turn in it doesn't really matter, I suppose. We'll turn in a commission. I have what was requested. I also can pick up a commission from Dr. Redeem, it looks like. This will buy their loyalty for now. Crowded thoroughfares by day, a fog-wrapped labyrinth by night. I'll set my minions to searching for opportunities. And I've received the currency of the secret world, and my patron has let tantalizing information slip. So, again, some of this stuff isn't as important for me, but I don't want to act like the game's over yet, so we'll iron out a few details. I think we'll imprison the hulking fellow. This one must serve another purpose now. Into the cupboard they go. And we don't have the dread, so I'm okay. Another hulking fellow. More food for the door. So that's one to turn in with oh, sorry, we can do that right now, actually. I've locked this one away safely. When their screaming and raving subsides, I will subdue them properly. And I am certain that my adversary has lodged a copy of their notes elsewhere, with their solicitor, with their superior, or even with a contact in the press. This is troubling. There's a few things that I've got on my plate now. So first thing I want to do is clear out the commission. So I have what was requested. We'll request a new one from Dr. Redeem. I will probably subdue the hulking fellow afterwards, and then we'll send the Callagine on the mission, which may actually wind up taking too long overall, but let's see if we can pull it off. Should probably go to the Gaiety before too long. The stage awaits, hot and clean and bare and bright. If I move the moves and step the steps and do what is required, they'll pay me. And I almost forgot to finish the illumination challenge. Okay, let's get a new commission. The doctor would like my help with his research. Nice. The hours have been called unmerciful, but they permit sleepers sometimes to walk in the Orchard of Lights, where each fruit glows like a sunset, where the roots of the trees are shaped for peaceful rest, where the mist soothes the heart. I was there last night, and the taste of the fruit lingers, sharp and sweet as the passage of spring to summer. So this is going to be a little hard to hang on to, but we're probably going to wind up going to the Ecdysis Club sooner than you might think. So we've got 33 seconds left on the affliction, so in this case we'll just pay for the medicine. I don't see a lot of value in risking risking a decrepitude at this point. The medicine is dark and bitter as tar. It would be easy to suspect I'm being poisoned. And Dr. Redeem would like a lantern commission. Okay, so I think now we're ready to talk to the Callagine about the evidence. So that's clearing things out. Eventually we'll move to Clovet and the reputation, but that may not be as relevant. I am, however, going to want to try and hang on to the pulsing airs for as long as I can. Bones surrendered. The bones are always last. When I've learnt how they change, I will be ready. Now that the sun has set and the shadows are extinguished, it's time to remember, and I will remember with my bones, as I have been taught. I am almost ready. My bones are different. They carry the tale of what is lost. If I do not survive, they will be my tale, and someone will wear fragments of my ivory to warm against their skin. And on that note, we are done for tonight. So thank you very much for watching. We're obviously getting very close to the end. I think I may not... I'm doubting if I get the ending that I was looking for. I think I might have taken a wrong step somewhere, but we'll see. We'll see where this all heads. But suffice to say, I'm interested in seeing if I pull off what I was looking to do. As always, thank you very much for watching. I do apologize for the interruptions partway through. It's, you know, it's life. I do realize that there are there's ads on these videos, and so I try to do the professionalism as well as I can, but I am a human being, so I appreciate your patience with the slight delays. I am very much looking forward to the next episode, and I will see you then. Have a lovely night. See you tomorrow.